Okay, this episode has been on my mind for a couple of days actually, and today it's ready to come out. And we're gonna talk about something very fun and exciting because we're gonna talk about how to set big and unapologetic goals for 2023. And I used to have sort of a love-hate relationship with goals because I sort of feel like in the past, it was sort of difficult sometimes to set goals because I was like, I would set a goal, but then it would become an ego thing, and then I would get disappointed, and then I would be like, oh, what the F, let it go. But the last couple of years, I have found a way to set goals in a way that is actually very exciting and in a way that really activates the right frequency and helps me really step up my game as a soul leader making 100K months. So I'm very excited to share this with you. And I'm very excited to open up this whole new portal of really stepping into that realm of being big and unapologetic, to be vulnerable, to allow yourself and other people to see every aspect of you and really step into that mindset of, you know what, F it, fuck it. This is me. These are my goals, and I do not care about what anybody else has to say about it. So, let us begin. I want to give you an example first of something that I find very big and unapologetic and which really resonates with me as a soul leader. I was reading this book. It's a book written by a Dutch coach here in the Netherlands. And I have to be honest, I used to have a bit of a judgment around her. I have, we don't have to go in details why that is, but let me say I had a judgment about this coach. And then somehow I re-entered her energy and I found out she wrote a book, so I ordered it. And in this book, she shares this story about how she was making millions of euros, but she had a tremendous amount of cost. And then to make things even worse, she had to pay 200,000 euros to the taxes. RAS, I think you call it in the States. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, a huge amount that she still had to pay to the taxes, and she just didn't have the money, right? And that sort of triggered her all into this new era where she decided, okay, I have to take a look, reorganize my business, and really have to step up my game and do it in a completely different way. And why did I love that example? Because it shows leadership. It shows leadership when you are willing to look at yourself, admit, okay, things aren't going the way I want them to go, and I have to do things differently. I feel as soul leaders, we do that on a regular basis. Look at ourselves, look at our business, and be like, okay, what is still working, what is not working, and what do I have to adjust? What do I have to change? And this is something I recently did this year as well, right? I had to look at my business as well and be like, okay, what is still working and what is not working? I came to a point in my business as well that I was like, okay, it's not flowing as I was used to, right? I still had this image in my mind of me 4 years ago, like doing the big events and having the number one show on iTunes and having this huge following, and sometimes I even had people on my door like bringing me gifts. Like it was a crazy era, and I still had that image in my mind, but that was no longer the case, and I had to let go of that image and be like, okay, that is something, yes, I have experienced it all, but it's no longer my reality. And let's just start all over. It's not giving me any fulfillment anymore. It's not bringing me the kind of money I desire for myself and my family anymore. And it's not bringing me to the places that excites my soul. So allowing yourself to look at yourself in such an honest way and to be honest about it and to work through the shame, because there's always coming shame up, right? But to look that in the eye, embrace it, and be like, okay, yes, this is it. And now I'm going to move forward. Now I'm going to write a new story. That is so powerful. And a big part of that actually became setting these new type of goals. If you hear all kind of music in the background, some Italian person singing songs, that's my daughter playing on her Italian phone. So setting these big and apologetic goals became a part of that. And I want to sort of take you through the process how to do that, because a lot of the times when we set goals, we tend to set the wrong goals. We tend to set goals that are not exciting at all. So, for example, if you have a huge debt to pay to the taxes and you want to pay that off, when you set that as a goal, that is not exciting to your nervous system or soul system or physical system at all. What is exciting about the fact that you know that you get to make a lot of money and then pay it right off to the taxes? That is not a fun and exciting goal. I think that's the best example to show that is not an exciting goal to your physical body at all. And when you set big and apologetic goals, you want to set goals that excite your nervous system in a very good way, an exhilarating way, and not in a discouraging way. So always be careful when you set these goals to not do it in a way that discourages you. So let me give an example, just that has nothing to do with business, but has to do with relationships. So say you have been wanting a relationship for years and you have been unable to attract that. I actually find that a lot of soul leaders, female soul leaders who are very successful in their business, sometimes that's the one area. They either have an area with the relationship not working out or with their health. And I'm very blessed to say that both. What relationship has never been an issue for me. Thank God. I've been with my husband for over 20 years. Of course, you go through your phases in your relationship, but finding the love of my life, that has not been my issue. Hey, baby. Health, I have had issues with, big issues, but that was in the past. So I think that relationship is a fun one to hey baby, a fun one to take. So say you want to attract in this beautiful relationship, man or female, I don't care, and you want that for 2023, and you have been trying this for years and years and you have never been successful in it. So you don't want to say, I want to attract a beautiful relationship, because that's going to it's going to discourage your nervous system. It's going to activate all these remembrance of all these years that you weren't able to do it. And then your nervous system is just it gets discouraged, right? It gets discouraged. And that's what happens a lot of the time when we set goals. We set in disencouraging, is that a word? Well, goals that you get disencouraged by. So instead of saying, I want to attract a relationship, you want to set a goal that subconsciously includes a relationship, but that doesn't activate all the remembrance. So my mom had this perfect example of a goal. She said the other day on the dinner table, I want to travel to the States again. And I was like, yes, Mom, that is the perfect goal for you, because subconsciously that also attracts that dream husband for you, because you have all these things tied up to traveling to the States, because you want to attract a certain type of husband to travel to the States. You want to attract somebody who has money, who can pay for himself, who is fun. So it includes all these things for a perfect lover, but it doesn't activate the disencouragement frequency. I'm still wondering if that's a word, but I think you get you understand what I mean, right? So when you say you have this debt you still want to pay off, or you want to hit a certain income goal because you have all these things to pay for. Instead of saying, I want to make this kind of money as a goal, which is totally not an exciting goal to set for your nervous system, you want to be thinking about, for example, a beautiful, very high class 5-star vacation you want to take with your beautiful family. Because when you set that goal, you get exciting. You can even feel it in your body, right? You can feel it in your room area. You can feel like the butterflies going off. I mean, when I think about going, like I've created a list. I have created a fun list of 5 things. You can check it out on Instagram. I probably will post it later tonight. And one of the things is that I want to actually travel to the Northern Light with my beautiful family. And I don't think that's, I don't know if that's very expensive. That has, for me, that's actually linked to all kind of other obstacles. So that's like not linked to the money. But then I have another one that is traveling to the Maldives, and that is linked to money because that's an expensive vacation. I think it's around the 10K. And actually, when I set that goal, that means subconsciously for me that I have to make a certain amount of money before I get to go there. But when I think of the goal, I do not get disencouraged. I get encouraged because I'm like, oh my freaking goodness, we get to go, we get to travel here, we get to stay in this beautiful place, in this beautiful swimming pool, in this beautiful area, with this beautiful people and this beautiful service. So it excites me. I have some other goals on my list as well, so you should really check it out. It's really fun. But you want to really energetically open yourself up today and just ask Spirit to show you 5 big and exciting and unapologetic goals for 2023 that will really set you off in that soul leadership mode. It's really a fun exercise. It is way more efficient than your normal way to set goals, and it's very fun, which is also, of course, just a nice bonus, right? Of course, final thing, there are 2 extra things you can do to really make these goals happen. The second thing is sharing it, because when you share it with the world, it, I don't know, it sets something in motion. I've always done that. Even like 4 years ago, I had set this, I made this list as well. I want to write a book. I want to host an event for 100 women. And I wanted, I believe, a number 1 podcast show. And none of them, no, the number 1 podcast show was never on my list. It was something else. It was a car. It was a specific car I wanted because that really represented for me a type of success, right? And at that point, I didn't even have a business yet, so I had no clue how I was going to do that. And I literally had the first goal, the book, I had done in 3 months. The 100 event I had done in 3 months as well. And then, hey baby, you have to laugh. And then the car I did in, I believe, under a year. So, but it was never, I was really unattached to those goals because they were so big and apologetic for me at that time. I mean, that was so out there for me that I was not really attached to it. I wasn't even really like, okay, this is really realistic that it's going to happen. But it was something I energetically sent out in the world because I shared it in every webinar I gave. I shared that list. And then it just happened. And like I said, the number 1 podcast show that became like within 2 months. It wasn't even on my list, but I think it was on my list. Yes, it was on my list, but it was so unattached that it just happened. So you really want to create it from a really unattached place and then share it with the world. And the way I actually can feel in my body if I'm unattached to the goals, if I am comfortable with sharing it with the world. And this list I made, I am so comfortable with sharing, so I'm really excited about it. And it really makes me wonder like what the heck is going to happen and how it's going to show up, right? So you don't want to attach to the specifics of it. The specifics are non-important, but you do really want to set this energy going and you want to share it with the world. So if you are like totally excited after listening to this episode, and you're like, oh, hell yes, Sophie, this sounds so fun and exciting to do. I'm going to do this as well. Well, create a post on your Instagram and share your list and tag me, sophiedipmar.official, or just send me it in a DM. I love that as well. But I have to say, sharing it with your own private audience and with the people you know, that is really a fun thing to do. So I really encourage you to share it with your own audience and to tag me and to let me know what you think of this episode. I love to hear back from you. You can reach me at, like I said, sophiedipmar.official. You can always send me a DM. I love hearing back from you guys. And I would really appreciate it if you love this episode as well, if you can leave a review on iTunes. That always helps in the rankings. For other beautiful female soul leaders to find this episode, and together we can really make a change in this beautiful world and really empower all these beautiful female soul leaders. I wish you an amazing day, and we'll talk soon. So we'll talk soon, and set your goals. Set your 5 amazing goals. Okay, bye. So imagine this: you, me, and 5 other amazing soul leaders at a beautiful high-end location, surrounding ourselves with beautiful richness, beautiful food, beautiful energy, beautiful surroundings and conversations, really setting you up to make those 100K months. This is for the beautiful soul leaders who are ready to scale their business, who are ready to leave the beautiful platform you have been on behind and move on to the next beautiful level that is awaiting for you. This is your time.